Hey everyone, welcome back to Solby Chats. I'm Laura Thompson, and today we're diving into an important topic: how different parenting styles can affect children's mental health and their journey through growing up. With me today is Michael Hayes, who has a great knack for observing and understanding the nuances of family dynamics. Michael, it's fantastic to have you here.
Hi Laura, thanks for having me. I'm really looking forward to our chat today.
So, let's start with inconsistent parenting and discipline. From your observations, how does inconsistent parenting impact children?
Well, Laura, inconsistent parenting can be quite confusing for kids. When parents are unpredictable with their rules and discipline, it creates an environment where children don't know what to expect. Imagine being in a situation where sometimes you're praised for doing something and other times you're punished for the same behavior. It can make kids feel insecure and unsure about how to act. Over time, this inconsistency can lead to anxiety and difficulties with self-discipline.
That sounds really challenging. So, what might we see in a child who's experiencing this kind of inconsistency?
In everyday life, you might notice that these children seem anxious or have trouble making decisions. They might act out or become overly cautious, trying to avoid getting into trouble. It's almost like they're walking on eggshells, not sure which behavior will get them a positive or negative reaction.
Let's talk about overprotective or controlling parenting next. How do these styles affect kids?
Overprotective or controlling parenting can also have significant effects. When parents are overly controlling, they often stifle a child's ability to make their own choices and learn from their mistakes. It can lead to children feeling helpless or incapable. They might struggle with low self-esteem because they haven't had the chance to develop confidence in their own abilities. They can also become anxious or dependent, always second-guessing their own decisions.
That must make growing up feel really restrictive. What signs might we see in children who are dealing with this type of parenting?
You might notice that these children have difficulty making decisions on their own or seem overly reliant on their parents for guidance. They might also be very anxious or fearful about trying new things. It's like they're waiting for permission or reassurance before they feel confident enough to act.
And what about parental expectations and pressure? How do high expectations affect children?
High parental expectations can create a lot of pressure on kids. When parents set very high standards, children might feel like they can never meet their parents' expectations, no matter how hard they try. This pressure can lead to stress, anxiety, and even burnout. It can also affect their self-esteem if they feel like they're always falling short, even if they're achieving a lot.
That sounds really tough. How might these high expectations manifest in a child's life?
Children under high pressure might show signs of stress, such as headaches or trouble sleeping. They might also have trouble with perfectionism, where they feel like nothing is ever good enough. Socially, they might struggle with making friends or enjoying activities because they're so focused on meeting their parents' standards.
Lastly, let's discuss cultural and societal pressures. How do these external pressures impact children?
Cultural and societal pressures can play a big role in shaping a child's experiences. In many cultures, there are specific expectations about how children should behave, achieve, or look. When children feel like they have to live up to these societal standards, it can add an extra layer of stress. They might feel like they're constantly being judged or have to fit into a mold that doesn't align with who they really are.
How might these pressures be reflected in a child's behavior or mental health?
You might see children who are very self-conscious or struggle with their identity. They might feel pressure to conform to certain expectations and could experience anxiety or depression if they feel like they're not measuring up. It's like they're caught between trying to meet these external pressures and figuring out their own path.
Can you give us an example that brings all these elements together?
Sure. Imagine a teenager named Alex. Alex's parents have inconsistent rules about curfew and chores, which leaves him feeling confused and anxious. His parents are also quite controlling, always stepping in to make decisions for him, which has made him unsure about his own judgment. On top of that, Alex faces immense pressure to excel academically because his parents have very high expectations. He also feels societal pressure to fit in with certain trends and behaviors. All of this combined can make Alex feel overwhelmed, unsure of himself, and constantly stressed.
That's a vivid example. What do you think can be done to support children like Alex?
The key is to provide a more stable and supportive environment. Consistent rules and reasonable expectations can help children feel more secure. It's also important to give them space to make their own decisions and learn from their experiences. Support and encouragement, rather than pressure, can help them develop confidence and resilience. Addressing societal and cultural pressures through open conversations can also help them navigate these external expectations more comfortably.
Thanks so much for sharing your thoughts, Michael. Your observations really highlight the importance of understanding these different aspects of parenting and their impact on children.
Thanks, Laura. I hope our conversation helps shed some light on these challenges and encourages a more supportive approach to parenting.
And thanks to everyone for tuning into Solby Chats. Remember, being aware of and addressing these issues can make a big difference in a child's life. We'll catch you next time. Until then, take care and be kind. This is Laura Thompson, signing off.
Goodbye, everyone.